and welcome to the first episode of the new show. I wish I could say that this is not making me nervous, but I feel a little nervous right now because that was the first episode. I wish I remember what I'm supposed to say. I can check the script. Hold on.
Is this the Blair Witch Project?
No, man, it's some new IPTV show that we found on the internet, man. It's pretty bad.
This looks horrible.
Yeah, but there's not much going on right now, so, I mean, I'm tired of watching the shows do the same thing over and over again, so.
I mean, literally, it's a crotch shot.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, I agree.
Is this what IPTV's come to?
I hope not.
Really?
I hope not.
He's reading off the piece of paper.
Yeah.
And he's holding the camera.
Yeah. It's bad.
You know, we could probably do a better job than he does.
I guarantee we could. Let's give it a shot, man.
You want to?
I'm in.
I don't want it to just be us, though. Yeah, you know,
I agree.
we got our own shit going on, and you know we're busy. But you know, what if we involved other people?
Okay. So like community type thing.
Yeah.
And throw stuff back to them and see what they do.
Might as well.
All right, I'm down. Let's
Cool.
try it.
I like it.
All right, let's do it.
Hey guys, it's Matt here to introduce our project segment. What we're going to try to do every episode is start with an idea and build upon it in the coming episodes. So for example, we've already gotten a request for some VMware follow-up. Now that vSphere 5 has been released, there are a number of different changes that come along with it being an embedded hypervisor. So what we're going to try to do coming up here is go into a little bit more detail on VMware. We'll go into some advanced configuration, some storage, your different options there, high availability considerations, so on and so forth. But this show isn't just about us preaching to you our ideas. The whole goal behind this, and if you've read my post on the newtech.tv, is your involvement. So while we want you to submit ideas and feedback, we also want you to submit complete projects in themselves. So if you have an iPhone or you have an iPad 2 or you have something, an Android device that has a camera that shoots 720p video, go get yourself a can light and shoot a segment for us. We're looking to put as much community into the shows and the website as we possibly can. I'll elaborate on this a little bit more in this episode and the next. But the project segment of each episode is going to be dedicated to an idea that you, the viewers, want to see. It's kind of a choose your own adventure segment where we start with something and then you, the community, say, well, what if you did this, or we want to see this. That's where we'll go into more in depth along the path, and eventually we'll pull back, we'll choose another topic, and the process starts all over again. But as I mentioned, it's not just us, we want you guys to be involved too. If you have ideas for projects, go ahead and submit your ideas to projects, that's right, I had to remember the email address, Mike, projects@thenewtech.tv, or you can email myself, Matt@thenewtech.tv, Mike @thenewtech.tv, Wes@thenewtech.tv, or Chris@thenewtech.tv. That's kind of all of us, I think, right? Yeah, good. Mike's shaking his head. So that's kind of the explanation about the project, segments. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this because I'm starting to sweat because these lights are bitchin' hot. All right, guys, so now that you know what each episode's project segment is going to consist of, it's time to get started. So here's the scenario. Mike and I live in a condominium complex, not a shithole by any means, and one of our neighbors happens to have the oldest profession in the world. So needless to say, there is quite a bit of traffic dedicated to just this person in the condo complex. The problem is we don't necessarily want all of that traffic in our shared parking lots, people coming at 11, 12 o'clock at night. You kind of get the picture. So what we thought is, how can we monitor and how can we document what is going on when we can't be looking out our windows all the time? So we kind of came up with the idea of using some spare equipment that we've got laying around the house and creating a security camera. But not just any old security camera. What we want is, we don't want to have to dig through hours and hours of footage to see exactly when somebody drives up and goes into her house. So we want a motion detecting security camera that will send us alerts and snap a picture when it actually detects its motion. So now that we've got the scenario defined, how do we actually go about accomplishing it? Well, we're going to use an old webcam that we've got laying around the house, and something that I'm sure everybody else has, an old PC running Windows. And if you don't have Windows, if you're a Mac guy, Linux guy, you know, or person, I should say, I'm not being sexist, go ahead and borrow your friend of a friend of a friend of a friend's copy of Windows XP and just throw it on there and you'll be just fine. The software that we're going to use is something called YawCam. And what you've been watching here isn't just an AHA video. It's actually the motion detection screen for YawCam. YawCam is free, runs on Windows, requires Java and DirectX 9. So what we've got here is a 30 millisecond interval for the motion detection, and if we kind of zip by real quick, it'll go over its threshold and take a picture, use an external SMTP email server, and shoot us an email saying, warning, I detected some movement, and it's going to document the time at which it detected so we can go back to that image and kind of go over it. So we're not going to set it up here. We're going to take a little field trip to our house and actually dive into the installation and the configuration and show you exactly how YawCam works. So here we have a working installation of YawCam. What we've done is we've taken an old Pentium 4 hyper-threaded PC from Dell. Up there we actually have our webcam pointing outside the windows, so you can see exactly where my condo sits, faces, as we mentioned, directly out to the entrance of our shared parking lot. So what we've done is, basically, when you install YawCam, it's going to check to make sure Java is installed. If you don't, it's going to tell you to go download it. You know, Java is Java, and you should have it already. Once you actually start YawCam, what we're going to do is we're going to click Enable Motion Detection here. And what it's going to do is going to allow us to go into the motion detection window. Once the motion detection window launches, this is the screen that you're going to be presented with here. What we've done is, instead of the entire area, we've actually defined this little box here as our detection area where we want to catch movement on the webcam itself. So we click OK. And what we've done is, because we're not catching the road noise, and what I mean by road noise is we're not catching cars driving by, we can actually set the sensitivity and the tolerance high and low. So the sensitivity is currently set at 96. It gives us just enough definition as to we can see the asphalt and our garbage area here. But what this also allows us to do is, because we're not monitoring everything and only monitoring a specific data set, if you will, portion of the screen, we can set the tolerance so low that any movement whatsoever will be picked up. Now what we're actually going to do is click over here to the Actions tab and click Settings next to Save a File. So here we've actually got it in ctemp, motion, date, timestamp, milliseconds. So if we launch Windows Explorer and and we go to C, and we go to temp, we can see here that we've actually got test pictures, images of a car driving out, and I don't know if we actually caught the car driving in. Now it looks like, oh, there it is. Caught the car driving in as well. Now, unfortunately, because we're not using a high-definition webcam or a camera that allows us to utilize optical zoom, the only thing that we can do is actually catch the person's driving in or walking by the front here. We're on the second story. Now, if we were actually to put this on the first story, we may be able to catch a license plate number. But at the very least, this allows us to get an accurate count of who's walking by. She actually lives over here in the corner. So anybody that parks around the side here and walks up, this is not the best placement for this, but it gives you an idea of what we're actually trying to accomplish. And if we wanted to send an email, we can say from the to, the from, motion detected, yaw cam has detected motion in front of your camera. You specify your SMTP server here, you set up your password if it's required, so on and so forth, and you can activate one email during 300 seconds so that it's not flooding you out if there is a bunch of motion. Now, another use case for this, as it relates to an IT person's industry, might be in front of a server rack. Let's say you've got a co-location facility that you are leasing from a co-location company. Well, you could, in theory, buy a $1,000 APC NetBots unit with the camera add-on and have it, monitor all this this other stuff. But if you're just looking to monitor the security of the rack, this seems like a pretty easy and, more importantly, cost-effective solution in order to monitor the security of whether it be a room. It doesn't have to point outside. Wireless webcams, I'm sure, would possibly be something that you could, set up with this. And if not, there is additional software. One of those being iSpy that will allow you to specify VLC streams, network paths, and so on and so forth for the actual image capture. Now, this is all fine and good. We've had some additional problems with our, how would you put it, Mike, security here. My girlfriend's car got broken into. So, real quick, I want to show you, and hopefully I can remember the IP address. I've got a NAS device from a company called Synology. It's a disk station which is kind of a medium business feature set. And one of the features is actually a surveillance station. Now, it's not as nice as something like a QNAP where it's available for multiple cameras out of the box. You have to buy licenses for additional cameras. But what this does allow us to do is utilize enterprise-grade IP cameras, and we can actually set those up for display and recording, much like we've used yaw cam in both constant recording, scheduled recording, or motion recording. So what I've got is I believe they are two high-definition Vivatech IP8362 series cameras, which are weatherproof, and they're on the outside of our building. And here you can see one point's on the front and one point's down at the side of the building. So we can catch people coming in via the entrance, as well as people driving back toward Mike, just so that we have the extra security that we need. Some people may say that this is overkill, but until it happens to you, you probably would say the same. You have your car broken into by somebody during a hurricane, and it's going to piss you off and make you go to lengths you normally wouldn't go to. But as we mentioned, the goal of this was to get YawCam up and running, to monitor, send us an alert, and as well take a picture when activity is detected, and we've actually accomplished that in probably less than 5 minutes once you actually get the PC and the webcam situated where you want. So where we go from here? Well, do we mention the challenge now?
We can.
Okay, we can mention the challenge now. One of the things that we're going to be doing is offering tech challenges. Normally this would be reserved for a second or a different segment of the episode, but we're going to kind of roll with it here, being that this is the first episode, and we'll see how you guys react. What we want you to do is we want you to take this idea of motion detecting cameras, and we want you to create a 24-hour nature cam. Now, this can reside in your house, or you can utilize something like a laptop, whether it be a Dell Mini 9 or something that you've got that will utilize yaw cam or something else that you guys have found. Basically, what we want is we want to detect any sort of movement, whether it be at night or during the day. Leave it running for 24 hours. Find a spot that you think that there's going to be some action, and we want you guys to post some of the more interesting captures that you've acquired via this method of motion detecting, snapshotting cameras, utilizing, like we mentioned, yaw cam or something else. And then we're going to we've got something planned for you guys that we want to, but this is going to be the first step. In the next episode, we've got a really good challenge for you. So stay tuned for that one. But this is the first kind of stepping stone from an initial project. So next, we want to hear from you guys. Projects at thenewtech.tv or post in the forums. It's important to us that you guys be involved with this show as much as we are. It's not just, as I mentioned, it's not just us talking at you. We want to have a conversation, and we want everybody who watches to watch you as well. So get your camera, get some lights, film some stuff, send it over to projects at thenewtech.tv, or let us know where we can find it so we can go ahead, put it in the episode, and send it out to everybody. I think that's pretty much it. Mike, did I miss anything? No, he's shaking his head no, so we're good. Let us know if you have any questions regarding anything that we've done here, and we'll kind of leave it at that.
One of the things we wanted to do with this show was take hot button topics with real world applications and give them a run for their money, test them out, see what fares better. There's a lot of people out in the forums that are just arguing left and right over which is better, Apple, PC, balls versus Red Bull. I mean, there's just the dumbest things, but at the same point, there's a lot of emotions involved in there. So we wanted to capture that in a segment called Tech Wars, where we're going to just, pick a side. We're each going to pick a side and just kind of take an aspect of a particular argument and then, see which one's actually better. This particular, episode, we chose to do the Mac versus PC debate, but not just the whole thing, because that's basically like swallowing a cow. But we wanted to take something technical within it, so we chose media ripping. We figure a lot of people nowadays are streaming stuff off their TVs via, they have the old Apple TV, or they have the new Apple TV, which is the Puck. There's the Rokus, there's Boxy, there's people using the Mac Minis and Dell Xenos, all sorts of stuff. So we wanted to figure out which one's better in its own right. We each chose a side. I chose the Apple side, and Matt chose the PCs, of course. So we're going to create a challenge disk, that way we're both ripping the same thing. Rip it over to the system that we're going to use, and then stream it off to the TV to see who can do it in the shortest amount of time in order to win. Alright, welcome to my house. I've decided to go the Apple route, and that means I'm going to take the challenge disk, slide it in my MacBook Pro, rip it directly into iTunes in MP3 format, and then stream it over to the Apple TV. Apple's got this entire technological ecosystem that's supposed to be fast and seamless. So, just to kind of hopefully give myself an edge, I'm running a time capsule on the back end with wireless and with wide channels. Hopefully this gives me any kind of edge over Matt that I can get, because I really want to put him into the dirt with this. This Mac versus PC thing is really bugging me, and he's a big PC guy and I'm a big Mac guy, so hopefully I get a win out of this, first of many, but we'll see what happens. Here comes the step-by-step right now. So So I've already got the MacBook Pro with the challenge disc in it. I've got iTunes set up to rip it into MP3 format and already set up to stream over to the Apple TV when it's done. Got the timer ready, got my computer ready, and I've got my Apple TV ready. Hopefully Matt's ready too. We'll go ahead and give it a shot now and see how it comes out. All right, you ready? Here we go. All right, so what the challenge disc consists of is 9 different songs, all at variable lengths, different audio densities, different spikes, and stuff like that. They're 9 songs, not copywritten. They're all written by me over the years. None of them are any good, so don't ask for them. And basically, it's just meant to play with your disc spinning, your speed, because each track it changes. The shortest song is only 11 seconds, whereas the longest song is 8 minutes and 41 seconds. There's a few that are around the 5 to 7 minute mark. What I'm going to do though is just speed up the video. That way you don't have to sit here and listen to me drone on for however many minutes it's going to take. And if you see me jumping around and having fun, that's because I know you really can't watch it because it's in fast motion. All right, ready, set, go. We are on the final song at 2 minutes and 28 seconds. This is going to be where it counts. I've got to click play as soon as I hear the chime, which should be about now. Now. And click play. Should be right over there. 2 minutes and 44 seconds. That's pretty good. Matt's going to have a lot up his sleeve in order to beat me on that one. All right, so let's check in with him and see what he's got.
So now that Mike has finished trying to brainwash you guys into why the Mac technological ecosystem is far superior to that of which anybody else can apparently create except Steve Jobs, we're going to go ahead and try to reproduce and if not beat Mike at his own game. What we're going to do is we're going to use a Windows laptop with Boxy and a SAN or NAS, whatever you may have in your home, or you could do it locally. I just happen to have a music store on a network attached storage. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Windows box and we're going to rip the challenge disk onto the share, and then we're going to play it through Boxy. And if all goes to plan, we should come in right at about Mike's time and hopefully beat Mike's time in this whole Mac versus PC war. So let's go ahead and get into it, and step-by-step procedures coming right now. All right, so I've got my test set up here. I've got a IBM computer running Windows 7 Professional. We've got your standard laissez-faire CD RW with the challenge disk already inserted. What I've got on my TV is Boxy, and this is when I press rip on Winamp, simply because Winamp has a higher ripping speed than Windows Media Player. It's actually going to rip it over my wireless network to a SAN that I have, or NAS, it's kind of both, in my closet over there. So what we're going to do is get ready to rip the device right now. We're going to press rip all tracks, and click, and off it goes. So now what it's going to go ahead and do is rip the challenge disk, as I mentioned, wirelessly over to my NAS, which my Boxy has access to browse the files that are there. So basically, it's a pretty simple, kind of procedure. You could, rip them to your local machine. You could rip them to a NAS. You can rip them, pretty much anywhere you wanted. It's kind of, I ripped it to a NAS for playback on my Boxy just because that's where all of my media goes. All my TV shows, all of my movies, whether they've been acquired legally or not, it's kind of a gray area, shall you say. I borrowed them from certain people. Yeah, we'll just kind of go with that. So I got all my music, all my media, all my playlists, pictures, everything is on a Synology 1511 Plus, I believe, is the model number. It's a 5-bay SAN/NAS business class device, really nice. I was tired of running FreeNAS here at the house, not for any particular reason, but we're actually going to go into that a little bit later in a later episode on some of the features of that. But I'm about 50% complete right now, is what it's kind of showing me. Hopefully, this computer here it's an IBM T60. It's pretty old. It's got a Core Duo in it, 2 gigs of RAM maybe, and a 10:7 display resolution. So it's not exactly the beast comparative to what Mike is actually going to use on his project. He's got... Oh, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. What? What? All right,
Mike. You ready to do this?
You ready?
You got your paper?
Yeah, I do.
With your little numbers on it?
All right.
I'm so excited about this for some reason. Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Well, let's just remember something, all right? I used a 4 or 5-year-old piece of equipment.
I'm hearing excuses just now. I don't know about you.
All I know is you're pretty confident, and that makes me a little concerned. I thought I had a good time.
There is a company behind me that can stand the test of time, except for the late 90s. It couldn't do that very well.
All right, what do you got?
All right, no, you show first. No, man. No, Mr. Windows is awesome.
Hey!
I'm just saying.
I didn't pull the whole... Listen to you. You got an entire company behind your back?
I do. Apple is good at this stuff. They are the right brain people, man. Music is their thing. I was not expecting to lose this, though I was nervous for a very long time.
All right.
3 minutes, 20 seconds.
3:20.
That's pretty fast. So what did you use?
I used a combination of Winamp and a network share and Boxy.
Yeah, so that's pretty similar to what I did.
The thing that took the longest was the ripping.
Yes.
And
there's only so fast a CD can spin.
Right.
I agree. But...
And 5-year-old piece of equipment, because I just saw through his paper.
Excuses. But I'm telling you, 244. I don't know how it did it, but Apple spins it 40 seconds faster. In your face, Windows.
I'm so glad this was a menial task.
You owe me a beer.
All right.
Get the beer. I'm telling you, technological ecosystem in your fucking face.
Technological ecosystem right in the ass.
Cheers.
Well played. So, that's a tech challenge.
Yep, one down.
God knows how many to go.
If you guys got any that you want us to do, send them in. We'll do them. We've got a few kind of lined up, but I'd rather have you suggest them.
Or we pit viewers against viewers.
I'm down for that. If you guys come up with something and you guys want to test it yourselves, film it, send it in, and we'll cut it together and we'll make it decent too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and heck, we might even throw our own spin on it.
Boom.
Give it a try. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Alright, well, so much for round one.
Yep, episode 1 in the can, I guess.
We understand that we had, some audio issues. We've kind of remedied that as we decided to just kind of push through it.
Yeah, we said F it and just go. Let's get the episode out, let's get everything done, and quality be damned, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be focusing so much on the production quality. We'll get lavalier mics, and we've got one already, but we may end up editing it all in iMovie, maybe Final Cut. I don't know. Maybe Premiere. We'll see as you know, this thing kind of goes along from there.
I like iMovie.
It's because it's simple.
I know.
But on another note, we really need you guys to kind of buy into the whole idea of this being a community project.
I mean, we're only part of it. You guys are the bigger half, as far as I'm concerned.
We've said that, you know, we wanted to get, well, I wanted to get back into, you know, kind of whether it be radio or TV or something along those lines again, just out of sheer boredom. You know, we all know that, you know, we're all busy. You know, we work 60-hour work weeks. I
don't know about 60.
Well, maybe not you, but there are those of us that work crazy hours, and let's face it, we don't have time for, you know, to produce a weekly show. And that's not to say that, you know, this is going to be weekly. Starting off, it's maybe twice.
Seasonal.
Let's not get that crazy. Maybe twice a month, maybe once a month. It all depends on the schedule. But that's where the website comes in. The website is going to be kind of an incubator, if you will, for stuff that we're going to hope to, you know, kind of film and have you guys join in the filming process. Like I said a bunch of times before, phone with high-def video, 720, a can light. You know, you go to Lowe's, you go to Home Depot, I don't know what they call them over in the UK. You know, you can get involved too.
You can go to Taylor's Do-It Center.
Whatever. They cost like $7. I mean, and that's, you know, floodlight. Boom, right there. That's, I mean, that's what we're starting off with. And it's, like I said, it's not, we're not going to get crazy. It's going to be more of a hodgepodge kind of, this is what's cool, this is what's now, this is what you are showing us, and we really want you guys involved, both on the website and in the show itself. So if you're not, if you have, you know, mother gave you a face for radio, and you're a little self-conscious about it, look, that's all I'm saying is people are self-conscious about that. And, you know, Mike, not everybody could do, you know, what you do on camera. But look, if video isn't your thing, you know, sign up for an account on the website. We're going to make people contributors.
Blog it up. I mean,
that's what we're hoping. You know, we're not looking to be an aggregate news site here. We're looking for your life, essentially, you know, in tech kind of thing.
I mean, this is the new it's the phrase "the new money" is kind of where this came from. Back in I guess the oil drilling and steel, there's all this new money where, you know, the people that have had money all their lives, and then there's an insurgence of people with just millions of dollars, and they just spent it lavishly. Well, this is like the era of the new tech. You guys have all this tech in your lives. Some of you are dominating it. Some of you are getting dominated by it. So we wanted to kind of just encapsulate that in this whole entire idea. Yeah, I mean, it's more than a show.
Yeah, it's you know, it sounds corny to call it a lifestyle, but I mean, everything that you do, that we do on a daily basis, somehow in my mind revolves around tech. You know, technology.
The fact that our phones are more powerful than the Apollo spacecraft is pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, let's face it. We've all got the desire and the drive. Otherwise, you wouldn't be involved in, you know, trying to keep up with, you know, technology and stuff like that. So, we're hoping that we can kind of redirect some of that focus, you know, to maybe people who aren't engaged in it every week. You know, it's not like we're, you know, going to attempt to be a newbie-only show. We want to highlight what's cool in the lifestyle of tech, whether it be reviews on video games, whether it be reviews on movies, like the Captain America
terrible
review Mike
movie.
It was horrible.
Terrible movie. I don't know why everyone likes it so much.
Anyway, you know, posting about, you know, stuff that's, you know, happened to you at work, that you've done that is cool at work. You know, shoot a video of, you know, once you figure it out, be like, you know what, other people need to know about this, and I'm going to send it to the new tech so everybody else. Because look, you can create your own blog, you can create your own YouTube channel, and nobody's going to go to it. And I'm not saying that's not because you're not popular.
I've had a YouTube channel.
Exactly.
I know.
Getting traction is the most difficult thing. We believe that if we can, you know, influence the community, and we can create a central site for these, you know, these people to go to and find this stuff, we think that's going to be more powerful than just, you know, hey, people go to my YouTube channel, So anyway, look, we've been rambling enough. we hope you guys enjoyed the first episode, and please sign up to the website at thenewtech.tv. I couldn't get thenewtech.com, but
I like it.
tech.tv.
Thenewtech.tv.
Yeah.
It's got a good ring to it.
The New Tech TV.
The new.
Oh, I said it. I'm sorry.
No.
No, but
Oh well.
Whatever. So that's what we're hoping to kind of get your guys' feedback and your input and your contributions to this and the idea of what we're trying to accomplish. And we're gonna have Wes and we're gonna have Chris. Start to do some video and some blogging and stuff like that. But we also need you guys. You're just as much of a part of this as we are, and we hope you guys can kind of see that. So until next time, he's Mike, I'm Matt, and I don't have
Keep
keep
coming to the website.
Come with a catchy catchphrase.
And we're awesome.
The Grid, a digital frontier.
I can fake a conversation with anybody. This is fucking perfect.
Turtles in a half shell, turtle power.